All right, today we're talking about the Lunar Tao, and it's really this fascinating idea how an ancient way of marking time might just teach us a new way of living right now in the modern world.
So let's just dive right in. The whole thing really boils down to this one big question. In our crazy, fast paced digital world, with notifications going off all the time, how can something as old as a lunar calendar possibly offer any real guidance for our lives today?
Well, the answer, believe it or not, might be hiding in this one simple phrase. Just 4 words. It's a philosophy that you're going to see woven through this entire story. It's like the key to unlocking all of the calendar's wisdom.
So, to really get this, we're not starting with some ancient, dusty scroll. Nope. We're starting with a family heirloom. We're starting with the grandfather's clock. So, this whole story begins with the author's grandfather. He comes to San Francisco from southern China, and one of the first things he does is buy this American-made Seth Thomas clock. And then he does something really interesting. He glues a piece of red paper right onto it with that same phrase we just saw, esteem virtue, accept everyone, written in his own hand. It was this constant daily reminder of what he believed.
And here's what's so wild. His grandfather was basically living in 3 different time zones all at once. For his personal diary, he used the old system, dating it by the Chinese emperor's reign. For his garment factory, his business, he used the Western calendar, Monday to Friday. But, and this is the key part, it was the lunar calendar that shaped his real life. It tracked all the big holidays, the festivals, the seasonal stuff that really mattered to his family and community. So you can imagine, growing up in a world like that, it just planted this seed of curiosity in the author. It really set him off on his own personal quest to figure out what the way actually was. I mean, think about his childhood. His Chinese school was just full of these confusing lessons. On one hand, you had these super harsh teachers, hitting students with rulers. You had these moral stories that sounded, well, kind of extreme. But then those same teachers would turn around and just rave about drunken poets and their creative genius. It just didn't add up. So all of this confusion really boiled down to one big question. He kept hearing this word, Tao, which, by the way, was his own name. What on earth was everyone talking about? What did it actually mean? What was this way? And this is such a cool, simple explanation. The actual Chinese character for Tao is just 2 parts. It's an image of a face, so a person, and an image of moving feet. That's it. So at its very core, Tao just means a person on a path. It's not just the path, but also how you walk it. And once he started looking for it, this idea of the way was, well, it was everywhere. It was in the big Confucian classics, it was in martial arts like Tai Chi, it was in Zen Buddhist texts, heck, it was even in the titles of tons of books, from the Tao of Physics to the Tao of Pooh. It just made the whole thing even more mysterious. And so yeah, what started out as just a kid being confused turned into this lifelong search for meaning, a journey to understand this big, profound idea, and really a search for his own path. So after all that searching, where did he finally find the answer? Well, it wasn't in some ancient hidden scroll. The author discovered the answer was right in front of him the whole time, in the calendar he grew up with. He realized it was all about the rhythm of the moon. Think about it like this. We've got the solar calendar, right? That's the one on your phone, your work calendar. It's all about appointments, deadlines, the busyness of the modern world. But the lunar calendar, that connects us to something totally different. It's about the seasons, the rhythm of nature, and kind of the spiritual heartbeat of life. And this rhythm isn't just some abstract idea. It's marked by these incredible celebrations. The whole lunar year is peppered with these 7 major festivals, and each one has its own special meaning. You've got the Spring Festival for bringing the family together, the Clear Bright Festival for honoring ancestors, all the way to the Moon Festival for celebrating the harvest. So what you have to understand is this calendar isn't just one thing. It's more like this amazing tapestry, It's woven together from centuries of super practical farming wisdom, all these incredible folk customs, and the deep spiritual ideas from Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. It's the whole shebang. And really, when you boil it all down, that's what it is, a practical guide for living. It's a way to organize your life that keeps you in tune with the earth, with the sky, with the natural world all around you. Okay, and this brings us to what might be the most important takeaway here. This wisdom, it's not some ancient secret that's locked away, and it's not just for one culture. It's truly a path for everyone. The author has this perfect analogy for it. He says Taoism is like a French cookbook. You don't have to be French to cook the meals, right? And you certainly don't have to be French to be nourished by them. It's the exact same idea here. The wisdom has Chinese roots, for sure, but anyone can be nourished by it. The ideas are totally universal.
And that really is the core message. This isn't supposed to be some dry academic book about Taoism. It's a book of Taoism. It's an active guide, something that's meant to be used by anybody, anywhere they are.
And the approach it suggests is so simple, so down to earth. It's basically this. Each day, just consider an idea. If it works for you, if it feels right for your life, great, take it. And if it doesn't, just move on. No big deal. There's no pressure, no dogma. It's just your own personal journey. And look at that. We've come completely full circle, right back to the phrase on the grandfather's clock. That's the foundation of this whole thing. Esteem virtue, accept everyone. It's basically an open invitation to explore these ideas for yourself, take what works for you, and let everyone else find their own way. So, we'll just leave you with this final thought. In a world that's just full of constant alerts and notifications and endless digital noise, what could you learn from the rhythm of the moon? In all the craziness, what could you gain by paying attention to a much slower, much more ancient clock?